darling. It's Michaela. So, I just wanted to relay a little story, a conversation that I had yesterday with a friend who's also a fat burner. And we were just talking about hunger. And she made the statement, that she was almost like amazed that at times when people talk about getting hungry, that it's kind of this like feeling of desperation. And she made the statement, she's like, when I get hungry, it's like no big deal. And sometimes it even has a slightly positive connotation because she understands what it indicates, which is so, first of all, hunger will come and go. It doesn't stay unless it's for fat burners, unless it's like you really need to fucking eat now. But otherwise, it leaves the building. But when we get hungry, there is everybody. When you get a little bit hungry, your body wants to keep things in certain margins. So it will mobilize fat, convert it to glucose, put it in the bloodstream to keep your blood sugar within a certain margin. So it's just this little like, ooh, let me just kind of passively amplify weight loss just by allowing myself to get a little bit hungry. And we're not talking about like, our blood sugars in our shoes, we're feeling weak or like unsafe. We're not talking about that. We're talking about getting a little bit hungry. Anyway, but I made this statement back to her because she's been a fat burner for many years now. So her reality is a particular thing. She has not been a sugar burner for a long time. I made the statement to her. I said, a reason. So there's a variety of reasons why people feel urgent about food. And one can be an emotional component. For a lot of us, myself included, food has been a safety blanket. It's been my pacifier. If I feel anxious, food is, the cure. And so when we feel anxious and we're inclined, we've historically used food for comfort, that can be something that feels a little less negotiable, to just let it kind of, hang out there. Food can be very grounding as well for everybody, but certainly if you use food a bit more emotionally. But the biggest thing that I shared with her, which is slightly newer news for me, is that a reason why sugar burners, which is like all of the world, unless you know that you are burning fat, that you've deliberately aimed to get your body into a fat burning mode, you have less hunger, you don't have cravings. But anyway, when you are burning sugar, your secondary source of fuel is actually muscle. And so when you get hungry, it actually becomes a little bit of a dire situation because your brain does not want your body to break muscle down for fuel. That is a life sustaining tissue. So when you get hungry, we can have both the blood sugar component in terms of like crashing and feeling weak, brain foggy, and the brain does not want you to tap into this essential tissue. So it'll create more urgency, more stress even. It'll raise cortisol to increase blood sugar, to kind of give you a little bit of buffer or a little bit of wiggle room. But at any rate, so that's not an ideal setup. But I wanted to share that with her because I thought that was really eye-opening, that it actually raises alarm bells in sugar burners when they get hungry because they are at risk of breaking muscle down, because muscle is their second fuel supply, not fat. And so it was just like, oh, well, I don't like that. And thank goodness that that is not the makeup that I'm in, that you're in, my dear, or that people have to be. And so I just wanted to share that. So I think that when we don't have an appreciation for another reality, we think this is just how it is. And one thing I want to say is it doesn't have to be. And especially with this one little element of hunger and what it's actually translating to in a sugar burner's body. So there is one side of the equation, which is if you let yourself get a little bit hungry, your body will actually mobilize fat, convert it to glucose, put it in the bloodstream, to keep your blood sugar within a certain margin. And if you also get hungry to a point, your brain views that as a bit dangerous, because the backup fuel is muscle for a sugar burner. So anyway, I just thought that was really useful. And the thing that's so amazing is that we can change this crap. So if you are someone that would like to not feel that, to not have this like anxiety connected to hunger for any number of reasons, but especially knowing before or just now that muscle is kind of at risk when you do get hungry and you do not feed yourself. That is not how it has to be. We are made to run off of body fat for energy when we don't have food. That's why we store that fat in the first place. So it's very efficient, natural, beautifully designed for us to be able to use that fat when we actually need it. Okay? And what that does is not only does it make weight loss easier, not only does it make weight gain harder, not only does it make your metabolic health sound and strong, not only does it help stave off perimenopausal symptoms or menopausal symptoms because of that metabolic health, but it's also something that just creates more wiggle room, more ease, more calmness in life, a lot more choice as to when you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, because you're not beholden on sugar and you're not running the risk of tapping into muscle to give your body the fuel that it actually needs. Okay? That's it. I just wanted to share that. I hope that's useful or interesting to anybody else besides me. But if you're a woman over 40 or even not over 40, because what I am hearing are things like bullshit perimenopausal symptoms happening to women in their 30s, just even this weekend. And so, again, metabolic health, that is what we are talking about. So if you'd like to sidestep that stuff or to do away with it, please consider getting your body into a fat burning mode. This is so sound for so many reasons, and it will make your life easier and better as you continue to come to the shape or the size that feels best to you. Okay, so if you are curious about such things, please check out our sugar quiz. See what percentage of fuel you are using, sugar to fat. That can just be really eye-opening to people and help you to potentially draw a connection regarding the percentage of fuel that you're using and how you're feeling, or what's happening in your body or what's not happening for your body. Okay, so that's it. Check things out, watch the videos following, set up a free time to talk. Would love to hear about where you are, how you might be struggling, and where you would like to go. Would adore helping you. All right, that's it. Love to you, and until next time.